This one's for the queens and the playboys, in particular the forest queen and the apricot playboy, which are two of our indigenous butterflies who absolutely love this tree. And by the time I'm finished with this video, hopefully you kind of semi-like it too. I've been posting lots of pictures about it on social media and I've had a lot of feedback, and today we're finally going to be discussing the Natal or the coastal Dune Soapberry and the experiments I've been doing to see if it actually works as a soap. The soapberry is a plant with a high amount of saponins in it, and that's the active chemical that literally foams and creates soap that is found inside of plants. And the Dune Soapberry is one of our indigenous plants that we happen to have. It grows everywhere from the Eastern Cape up through KwaZulu-Natal into Mozambique. It has these big yellow berries, and before that it obviously has some beautiful flowers. And this tree, its flowers and its leaves are what a lot of our indigenous butterflies are attracted to and use. They use it as a food source and as a place where their larvae can grow. And if you really want to plant a single tree or shrub in your garden that attracts butterflies and any kind of beneficial pollinator, then this is the #1 plant you want to have. It's one of the plants that attracts the widest varieties of butterflies, bees, and other beneficial pollinators. So if there isn't any other reason you'd want to have it in your garden, this will definitely be it. Now, that being said, let's get down to discussing whether or not it actually works as a soap product or a cleaning product. It has been raining for the last few days here, and so I've been stuck indoors, which means I've been using it as the perfect opportunity to actually test whether or not this works. A couple of weeks ago, I started to harvest the berries as they ripened, and the first thing I wanted to do to test while I was waiting for enough berries to ripen, because I was going to primarily be testing washing powder and soap powder out of the dried nuts, the actual dried seeds. But as I started to harvest the berries, I was collecting the skins off of the berry. And the reason why I was collecting the skin off of the berry is because I wanted to test if it would make a good hand wash or shampoo or face wash, which is apparently one of the traditional uses of the berry. As you can see in this video, the berry has a yellow skin, and you can just give it a squeeze and you can pop out the seed and the skin comes separate. The skin I then would use to put in a pot, and a lot of the sites say the flesh as well, but I found the flesh really stuck to the nut, really stuck to the seed. It's impossible to actually take the flesh off of the seed, though there's a lot of juice in that little seed section, and it's very sweet and very nice tasting. So I would just pop it in my mouth and suck off the juice, and then I would put the seed aside to start drying out so that I could do my soap powder experiment. But getting the actual flesh of the fruit off was near impossible. It just wasn't going to happen. So I decided to settle for just the skins. And I took the skins and I followed the instructions that is shared for traditional use of how you would use it. I put the skins in a pot and I left it to simmer for a few minutes. The water got this absolutely beautiful yellow color, and you could see a little bit of the bubbling of the saponins coming there, so you could see a little bit of the foaming action happening. And then once the water was that beautiful color, I then took it and blended it and made a beautiful thick creamy liquid. I did rub some on my hands. There was no foaming action that happened at all, so I thought, well, this isn't going to work as necessarily as a shampoo or a body wash or anything like that, but the texture was very much similar to that of what you would find in a milk cleanser or a cream cleanser. So I thought, well, let me try it as a face cleanser. Let's see if it works. On the sites that I read, it did say strain out the pulp and just use the liquid, but I decided not to strain out the pulp, which actually turned out to be a good thing, because not straining the pulp out gave it a bit of an exfoliating effect. So I decided I'm going to use it, and I washed my face with it, and wow, my skin felt amazing afterwards. And I decided to keep using it for a couple of days to see what happened. I am of that age, in my mid-40s, where I'm going through hormonal changes. It happens to all of us women. And one of the results of that is I have been struggling with my skin and hormonal-based acne. So I've been having breakouts, and unfortunately, it's just one of the things of life that we all have to accept. What I did find, though, was using this cleanser from the Dune Soapberry helped to clear up my skin, and very quickly so. I don't know if it'll work on younger skins. Perhaps if you have a teenager in your life who is struggling with a bit of acne, go through the process of making this face wash and see if it helps them. It definitely helped me. It really helped to clear up my skin beautifully, and I'm going to continue growing this tree. Well, I say tree or small shrub because it grows from a small shrub to about 1.5 meters to up to 9 meters tall. So if you're growing a food forest, it would be an understory tree, and it does sort of grow best in semi-shade with lots of bush around it. And I'm going to keep growing it, not just for the butterflies and the beneficial pollinators, but most definitely for my skin. So I boiled the skins. It was about 2 cups of skins to a liter of water, and I boiled it until the watercolor changed color to that beautiful yellow. I then blended it into this thick, beautiful pulp, and I bottled it, and I kept it in the fridge. It stays in the fridge for up to a week, and then the excess, what I did was I froze. Out of a nice big bunch, I probably froze about enough face wash for me to use for the next 3 months, and I estimate the tree I harvested with would have about 3 of those bunches, so that's up to 9 months. So if you are growing 1, 2, 3, 4 trees, you'll definitely be able to grow enough face wash for you and your family members if you find it's a face wash that you enjoy using, because I'm definitely enjoying using it, and I'm definitely going to be making as much as I can to last me until next season when I can harvest more berries and make some more face wash for myself. Let's start talking about the soap powder aspect. Okay, so I went through quite a process. I read online and I took all the advice of what they say you should be doing to make the washing powder. So here's the video. This is the first wash I did. What I did was I dehydrated the seeds of the soapberry. I then ground it up to a very fine powder, and I then took that powder and I simmered it in a pot for about 20 minutes. So again, it was about a tablespoon of powder to about 2 to 3 cups of water, and then I took that and I put that aside and I let it cool down, and then I just took that whole pot of water and soap nut powder and I put it in the wash, and I did a small wash. You could see the foaming powder, and you can see it actually performed quite well. There was a good amount of foam in the wash. That was just the prepared pre-boiled powder. And the reason why they recommend you boil it is because it helps to break down the cell walls so that the saponins are released and you're not relying on just the dehydrating process. I tried to see if I couldn't find a way to get the soap powder to foam more, because as you can see it foamed, but it wasn't like a shop bought machine powder. Definitely not a high foam powder by any means. So my next experiment was just to dry it and grind it up and put it in a wash. And this is what it looked like. So you can see there's definitely less foam without it not being pre-boiled. Then I thought, well, what if I didn't dehydrate it at all and I just ground up some fresh seeds and put it in? So I did that, and now you can see there is very, very little foaming, even less foaming. And let me tell you, because I ground up the powder fine enough, the rinse cycle on the machine was able to wash away any remnants, so there wasn't any residue or anything sitting on the clothes. Then what I did was I decided, okay, let me go back to pre-boiling the soapberry seed, but I'm going to separate the powder from the water, which I did do. And not only am I going to do that, I'm now going to do a stain removal test. So I did these pants, as you can see here. There's some marks there by the pocket where you put your hand in the pocket, and I wanted to see how well the stain removing properties were of the soap nut. So I did that, but with the difference of also having the powder inside of the bag versus it just in the machine like I did in the very first wash. And as you can see, it foamed less. So here it is in the washing machine, and you can see it foamed less than when I had just boiled it and put it loose in the machine. When it came out, so this is what it looks like, and you can see I cleaned it a fair amount, but it didn't remove the toughest part of the stain. So as far as tough stain removal, it wasn't excellent. It's a really good general clean. Everything else I put in, the clothes came out clean. more clean than they would be if I had just used water. So it definitely has a cleaning action. But the smell, oh my goodness, smells absolutely amazing. It is, wow. It makes your clothes smell good. It smells clean. So if you're doing it just a general wash and it's nothing that needs any heavy stain removing properties, then this would work. But I would recommend grinding it up into an extremely fine powder and putting it directly in the machine and letting the rinse cycle wash away the little granules, rather than trying to put it in a bag and washing the bag, because you get less foaming power that way. So what is my end conclusion with all of this? Is this an absolutely worthwhile plant having in your garden, even if you're just wanting it to attract really beneficial pollinators into your garden? It makes an amazing face wash. I cannot explain to you how wonderful my skin has been feeling since I've started to use it as a face wash. As a washing powder, go through the process of dehydrating it, grinding it into as fine a powder as possible. Put that in your washing machine for just a gentle everyday wash. No heavy stain removing properties, unfortunately. So hopefully I will be able to find a natural product that can do that, or if you can recommend something, please let me know. If you have any questions, let me know, and any suggestions of what I can do perhaps to add to this to make it more efficient at stain removing, I'll try it. Anything I can grow in my garden, I will absolutely give a go. So thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to hearing from you guys. This is an extended video, I know, so thank you for your patience. And if you want to see more long form content like this, please let me know in the comments. I'm more than happy to make more long form content. And obviously, if you guys are here and you're still interested in the content that I am creating, please like and subscribe to my channel, and let me know what kind of plants you want to hear more about. I love hearing from you guys. I do read all the comments. I might not always get the chance to answer, but I do read through all the comments, and I do try to share more of what it is you are looking for.